What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and oh man, do I got some video footage that you're not going to want to miss. President Joe Biden is pulling out all the stops to make sure that him and the Democratic Party can stay in control in the midterm elections. We're going to be seeing if he's going to do this, in addition to passing more legislation, stimulus provisions to try to convince voters to keep them in power. This is your stimulus package update, stimulus check update, and breaking news update. Now, take a look at some of these headlines, and as I mentioned, I'm going to share with you the actual video footage so you can see it for yourself and let me know your thoughts. So, opinion. Biden is finally tapping into a winning political strategy, and there you can see they invited former President Barack Obama back to the White House, and they're going to get him on board to try to help Democrats to stay in control and start promoting the Democratic Party and agenda. However, take a look at this, you guys. Barack Obama's humiliation of feeble old Joe Biden. They're saying that it backfired. Take a look, you guys. President Biden blatantly disrespected on his own turf. Obama tweets to save face after embarrassing Biden. Video surfaces. And I'm going to be sharing with you the actual video footage. Now, let me know your thoughts on this, okay? We got to watch it. But what they're saying is, right off the bat, he comes out and he calls President Joe Biden Vice President Joe Biden, and it looked like it was all in good jest. Let me know your thoughts, but people are saying it was a little bit humiliating, and then afterwards, there's some video footage that surfaced where they said that Biden looked sort of lost, that Obama was not acknowledging him, and that he sort of stole the show from Biden, as they're saying that he's extremely popular still. People want to see Obama and not Biden, and they said this kind of backfired with him. But let me know your thoughts, and also, I'm going to be sharing with you the full clips because we're hearing that the video clips that surfaced actually made him look bad, but it didn't capture the entire thing. And we're going to watch the whole thing so you can see it. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that this was exaggerated, or do you think that no, this is factual, that Biden is not as popular as Obama and things aren't looking good for them? Now, in addition to that, I'm going to be sharing with you a breakdown of where things currently stand in Congress. As I mentioned, Democrats, it's a midterm election year and they want to stay in control. We're going to be breaking down for you what we can expect to see moving forward with the House and the Senate. And this is going to be impacting everything because right now, Democrats can use the process of reconciliation in the Senate, a majority vote to pass through legislation. They control the House. So if Democrats can unify, they can pass through anything they'd like. And that includes stimulus provisions like stimulus checks, stimulus packages, like we saw with the complete entire American Rescue Plan last year, passed through the process of reconciliation, all Democrats voting in favor. Now, if they lose control, they will lose that ability. And then also what we've seen is, historically, it does not look good for the president in the elections if he has lost control of Congress, because he's going to have a hard time pushing through legislation to get support for voters. So let's go ahead and dive right in. I've got video footage to get you caught up on. First, let's take a look at the clips of Joe Biden and Barack Obama and what happened, and then we'll take a look at a breakdown of what we can expect to see. So before we dive in, though, if you could do me a quick favor, if you appreciate the updates, keeping you up to speed on everything going on, don't forget to take a quick second, smash that like button. Also, leave your comments. I want to hear your thoughts on this one. Share this out if you think it's going to help out other people. If this is your first time here and you like to stay up to date on everything going on, don't forget, totally free. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell so you can be notified. Come join the Ram fam. And if you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. Oh, and consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. More content coming on that channel about cryptos, stocks, real estate, starting businesses to help out subscribers. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in, and let's start off with this video footage of what happened in the White House.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Have a seat. Have a seat. Thank you. Vice President Biden, Vice President. That was a joke. That was all set up. My president, Joe Biden.
Watch Biden try to horn in on the conversation swirling around Obama. everyone involved in that conversation, including Kamala Harris, who supposedly works for Biden, ignored Biden completely. Biden desperately tried to get Obama's attention. He puts his hand on Obama's shoulder. He even calls him Barack, like they're friends. But Obama blows him off. He acts like Biden's not even there. Ask yourself if you have ever in your life seen anything sadder than this.
And Tuesday's brief Obama-Biden reunion, it's not going to do anything to turn things around for him. It only reinforced what we already know, that Biden doesn't know what on earth he's doing or at times where he even is.
So there you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Some jokes and jests between Biden and Obama. Some people were saying it was humiliating. Others are saying, no, it was all in good joking. And then we saw those clips where it looked like Biden was a little bit lost there, but then we saw the full clip that he was actually going to get somebody to bring them on stage. And then we saw the clip where it looked like Obama was not paying attention to Biden, but then we saw that beforehand, it was actually Biden introducing Obama to those individuals and allowing them some time to talk. But let me know your thoughts, you guys. And do you think that this strategy of bringing Obama onto the scene is going to be able to help Biden and Democrats get more support to stay in power? And are they going to be passing more legislation? And if they do, say for stimulus checks, will that convince you to vote for Biden and Democrats to stay in power if they send out direct assistance payments? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Or do you think it's just too little, too late, and we need to see a red wave coming? Well, what we're hearing is it is very likely that a red wave is going to be coming. Wait till you see the numbers and the breakdowns of what they're saying is going to be coming in the midterm elections. It looks like there's going to be over 30 spots that we can expect to see potentially flip, and I think they only need about 5 or 8 to flip the House, and the Senate is a 50-50 split. So let's go ahead and take a look at the breakdown, and this is going to be very revealing that it looks like a red wave could be coming.
Mr. President, what do you say to Democrats worried about the midterms? What do you tell Democrats worried about the midterms?
We got a story to tell, just got to tell it.
Former President Obama with a simple message for Democrats yesterday during his first time back at the White House since 2017. It comes as NBC News learns he plans to play an active role in helping Democrats before the midterms. But he'll follow President Biden's lead. A wave of 23 House Democrats already said they won't run for office again. And several Republican lawmakers who voted to impeach President Trump also leaving, including Michigan Congressman Fred Upton, who announced just yesterday he won't seek re-election.
You know, when we started talking about the fourth hour, and I'm dead serious here, one of the first things we said is we need Steve Kornacki.
Oh, right. Yes, of course. Well, we needed the rage.
We needed him.
We actually made a call to the front office and said we need Kornacki.
And here he is.
Joining us now.
Hope and love and joy and data.
National political correspondent for NBC News and MSNBC, Steve Kornacki. Steve, what's the state of play right now for November?
Oh, happy to be a part of the fourth hour. Thank you for thinking of me. I appreciate it. Well, let's take you through it, what we can say right now. First of all, I think the big picture thing to keep in mind whenever we're talking about midterm elections is this is the history. I mean, we're going back here to World War II, and these things don't usually start out equal, where either party has a chance to win or lose seats. What you're seeing here is the White House party in every midterm midterm election. This is taking it back to 1942. And look at all that red ink on there. Those are lost House seats. There's only two exceptions. 2002, right after 9/11, George W. Bush and the Republicans defied history. 1998, that's as Republicans were moving to impeach Bill Clinton. There was a backlash against that. Democrats gained seats then. Every other midterm election going back, you see there into the 1940s, the opposition parties gained seats. The question has been how many. So it's one thing to keep in mind in terms of the backdrop. Now let's look at more at the modern history and how Biden stands right now politically compared to his recent predecessors, what that's looked at. So if you look at the average approval rating for Joe Biden right now, it sits at 41% right now today. Take a look at this exact same point for his recent predecessors where their approval rating sat. You see that Biden number very, very similar to where Trump was at this point in the 2018 midterm campaign. Obama was a few points higher, although his numbers were on the way down at this point in 2010. Bush, we mentioned, post 9/11, very different situation. Bill Clinton was actually at this point in 1994 still at 50%. But you take a look at what happened to these presidents in the midterm elections. Again, Clinton and the Democrats took a bath. Joe, I know I don't need to tell you about 1994. Barack Obama and the Democrats lost 63 seats in 2010.
Wow.
We all remember the 40-seat loss for Republicans losing control of the House under Donald Trump in 2018. So again, that's the modern history. You look at that Biden number, it's in line with what's been bad news for the White House party in midterm elections. And again, what Republicans need to get the House here, they gained seats in 2020, even as Trump lost. They only need to get up to 218, so they don't need a tsunami here to get control of the House. The one thing, though, that I do think is interesting and potentially a little bit different and complicating this time around is this. Let's take a look at sort of seats that you would, House seats we're talking here, that you would call the most vulnerable, the ones that the opposition party thinks it has the best chance of picking off. Take a look at this. Right now, we're talking about Democratic-held districts, right? A couple categories here that went for Donald Trump. Right, that's an obvious target for Republicans. The district already voted for Trump. It's Democratic held now. It's an obvious target in a midterm election. There are 10 of those. Okay, if you go to the next level, there are districts that Democrats held where Biden won, but Biden won narrowly, less than 5 points. There are 8 of those. And the next level, Biden won by 5 to 10 points. There are 15 of those. So you add those all together, there are 33 total seats there, Democratic districts right now. And by the way, the redistricting still playing out. These numbers could change a bit, but 33 total districts that fall into that kind of prime vulnerability category for Democrats. Just compare this to 2018 and take a look. It was different back then. The number of Republican-held seats that had gone for Hillary Clinton was 25. The number that had gone for Trump by less than 5 points was 12. The number that had gone by between 5 and 10 points for Trump was 26. Basically, there were 63 Republican-held seats in 2018 that fall into sort of this prime vulnerability category because of the way redistricting, gerrymandering, all these things we talk about. There's basically half as many right now Democratic seats that fall into that category. So you look at some of those huge numbers we've seen in the past in terms of midterm tsunami losses for the White House party. One thing that could insulate Democrats somewhat, at least, is this.
It's fascinating to look at and the House is expected to swing back right toward Republicans. But let's look at the Senate map. I know you've got a couple races you're looking at. We were talking about Georgia a minute ago. Republicans publicly and privately are very concerned about what's going on there with at least one of their candidates.
Yeah, I mean, Donald Trump got behind Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker, obviously, legendary name in Georgia sports, but there are some concerns Republicans have been expressing about how he'll hold up as a candidate. But again, looking at a 50-50 Senate right now, you kind of got competitive / potentially competitive Senate races here. The way I look at it, though, is this. If you're Republicans, your 3 best offensive targets are Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada. These are 3 Democratic-held seats where I think Republicans, at least on paper right now, have their best chance of making gains. You flip that around, and Democrats, if they want to hold on to the Senate, keep it 50-50, keep having Kamala Harris able to break those ties. I think 2 things to keep. Pennsylvania is their clearly best target here, Republican held, but an open seat, state that Joe Biden won in 2020. Huge opportunity there for Democrats. I think the key for Democrats is Wisconsin. Ron Johnson, 2-term incumbent. Twice Democrats have gone into the general election thinking they're going to beat Johnson. Twice they've lost. If they could beat him in 2022, I do think that could shift the math in their favor. That's a huge one for them, I think.
Wow.
All right, he's the best.
He is
right?
There you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. So we will see what's going to be unfolding because as I reported to you in my last video, we're hearing that there is a stall in the $10 billion of pandemic spending that they want to send out to help battle the pandemic with vaccines and therapeutics, which is also stalling a revised Build Back Better bill, stimulus gas checks, and other legislation items that Congress wants to pass through. It is all going to start getting backed up if they don't come to an agreement on more spending. So we will see, because if they don't get stuff done, it's not going to convince voters to vote to keep Democrats still in power. So I'll be sure to keep you up to date here on the channel, you guys, but that is the latest coming out as of today. And as always, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget to take a quick second, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments. Love to hear your thoughts on this. Share this out if you think it's going to help out other people. If this is your first time here and you'd like to stay up to date, totally free to do so. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. If you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3, and consider joining the second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me once again, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.